Hey folks, this is Vincent Natalie with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and today we're going to quickly review Nightingale. Now, this is a game that I covered last week, but I only had the one press key and only covered the solo mode part of it. I managed to get a second press key, gave it to Ida Lee here, and we've been playing this probably for the last week or so. We managed to get to the third realm. We just started that, and so far, I think she's enjoying it. I think. So before we get ahead of ourselves, for those of you that didn't see the other review, you probably should. But for those of you too lazy to do so, this is an open world crafting survival game that is a bit different in the sense that the game is broken up into realms, and you're going to be traveling across different realms in order to advance the story, and you'll see modifiers for each realm along the way. Like, one realm gives you more wood whenever you chop down a tree, or one realm might award you with more ore, or the gravity might be lower on this realm. And there are even negative side effects, like health regen might be lower in this realm, and you'll be able to acquire cards to open up new portals to different realms, and then you also get cards to modify those realms. So you can turn one realm from something that is normal into something that's crazy. We really haven't had a chance to experiment too much with that aspect of it, but like I said, we're still on like the third realm right now. We just started that. As far as the open world survival part, as is typical of an open world base builder kind of sort of, you can put down various workbenches and various survival things. You'll get different tools, and a lot of it, there's a lot of combat and a lot of points of interest that you'll be exploring, and ultimately your goal is to get to like the final area of a realm and beat it. And once you do that, typically you get a card that points you to the next realm. At least that's been our experience so far. And like I said, I covered the solo aspect of this already. And if you've seen that video, you'll know that the game's progression is in the form of essences. You pick up tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 essences as you do things, and you unlock progression in like a tree. And in my experience with the co-op, one of the biggest differences, I'm noticing that I'm earning a lot less essence in multiplayer. So that actually forces me to be a little bit more strategic in what I'm unlocking initially. In again, my solo play, I was swimming in essence. I could unlock everything all at once. And in our cooperative play, I felt like I was starved for it. So like I concentrated on the tools and the weapons and then moved on to other things. But I also had to save some because the tier 1 essences are used to repair your tools as well. So you can still get around that though by crafting something, or just any sort of material or item that you don't want. You can extract it in your inventory and just get essence for it. So you can just go around collecting a whole bunch of stuff and then sort of extracting it and getting essence that way. I haven't bothered doing that. We've been too busy doing points of interest together and getting stuff done. And yeah, that's the general gameplay flow. Go from realm to realm, and you can even go back to existing ones, change the scenery via the cards that you're inserting into the slots, and change up how they behave, and that seems to be the general flow. And there's a character named Puck that will appear all the time and sort of guide you. And at first I thought he was the same voice actor who did the dragon and Merlin. I think his name was John Hurt, I think it was, but it's not. The voice is so similar, it's uncanny. But it actually ended up being a completely different voice actor. It's still very well done, is what I'm saying. I love the voice acting for Merlin as far as the dragon was concerned, and I was like, wow, this stands out. Speaking of things that stand out, the scenery in this game is fantastic. Ida Lee was having some trouble getting everything started. Like her graphics, for whatever reason, were like blurry or something or other. And after updating her video drivers, it kind of looked better. But there are still instances where things lag. and hang, and it's just an unpleasant experience. So there's definitely still some like optimization issues, especially in online versus offline. I experienced more issues online than I did offline, and I think that stands to reason because not only am I fighting optimization, but now I'm fighting for server bandwidth, whatever the tech stuff is behind that aspect of it. So I've talked enough. So Idly, what was your like first impressions with this? Like, first of
Uh,
all, you like the game? I mean,
yeah, I do. It's fantastic. I'm so enjoying it. And it's funny because the more I play it, the more I enjoy it. Like, the more I uncover, the more I want to go out there and uncover even more. So
it,
it keeps me reeled in and on the edge of my seat, kind of.
is it the story that you're interested in, or the different realms that will open up, or like the base building, like
I,
survival? Like,
I,
what's important to you? Like, what drags you in?
I think it's just the exploration stuff, like the uncovering of the worlds. It seems like there's so many things to explore and uncover. The only problem is that I don't feel like I'm interacting too much with the environment. I mean, in a way, it's really good that what they have right now is really good. Like there are things that you can sort of interact with, like breaking the walls to find secrets or treasure chests or things like that. The
Mm-hmm.
interest points are great, and even these side quests. I love all the little side quests where you have to go to something and defend people or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
I do wish the environment itself was more interactable, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But compared to other open world games out there, they did a really good job with how much you can interact with.
Mm-hmm.
The story, I wish I could get into more because it does seem really thrilling, and I like the whole Fae aspect, sort of folklore, and I wish I could get more into it, but we're kind of like rushing things a little bit, and I want to just kind of take my time, but I
Mm-hmm.
kind of can't.
No, that's understandable. Again, one of the issues with covering a survival game, it
Hmm.
will sometimes take hundreds of hours to do a proper playthrough. Like, I could cover a shmup in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever. It's simple. It's just an airplane shooting things on a side scrolling screen. That a survival game has much more to it than that. So, survival games you really need to spend a lot more time with to really properly review it. And we've been playing this for, again, 12, 15 hours probably, and we haven't scratched the surface of some of the concepts. So, but we still have
Yeah.
to like cover games timely because we
So we're
have.
still
Mhm.
we're trying to like rush it kind of like we're rushing on certain aspects, which is fine. But every time I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so fast, I can't even keep up. And, like I want to I want to build like a base. I want to build my little pier with my little fishing area. And even though I can't stand the fishing in this game,
It's awful.
I actually have it on my notes. Fishing sucks.
Yeah, they need to be like Core Keeper. Core Keeper recently did an update where they simplified fishing. A little exclamation point pops up, and you click the button, you get the fish. That's how
Mhm.
every game should be. I'm so sick of turn the rod this way. Oh, the fish is getting tired. There's the stamina bar. Oh, the tension is too high. You ran out of stamina, so you lost the fish. Like, ugh, I just want to
Yeah.
chill. I don't want to have to memorize three or four different gameplay mechanics just to fish. It's supposed to be fishing is supposed to be a relaxing sport slash activity, and games make it cumbersome, and I just don't know why.
Hmm.
Like, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I can sort of understand that they have to have some sort of mini game with the fishing, but this one is pretty rough. Like it's actually kind of hard. I'm hoping that once, we get into it, into the nitty-gritty, it'll be better.
mhm.
The combat is a little bit simple. It's a little janky. I'm always um just wailing my axe or my hammer or whatever into thin air hoping that I'll hit something, and I
Mhm.
always hit my bodyguard
Yeah.
because they're always in the way, but it's like whatever, combat's like whatever.
Yeah, I still and they supposedly updated the combat. Like,
Oh
before it was
really?
even worse than what it is. So, like,
Really?
yeah, I do appreciate the feedback I get sometimes when hitting something. They'll go flying in a particular direction. Like, it'll actually ragdoll. I like that. But there
Hmm.
are sometimes where I'm hitting an enemy and I can't tell if I hit it or not. Like, they'll just sit there and take a hit.
Yeah, and I hate that the health bars are very similar to our own,
Mm-hmm.
honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I see the enemy's health bar and then your health bar or the bodyguard's health bar, I don't know where the enemy is because everything's just too hectic.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like hitting wherever the health bar is, and that ends up being you or the
Mm-hmm.
bodyguard.
We each get a
Um,
follower too, so it's like there's four of us on the same side, so we
mhm.
sometimes can't tell who's who. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What were you about to say?
I don't know. I was just gonna say it's a great game.
Okay. One of the there's several bugs in online mode that weren't in
Mhm.
offline mode. One of the things I came across, there's a health bar bug. Every time Pony loads in, sometimes to a world, she has 25 health out of whatever her max is, according to the bar. But on her end, she has full health. So it's like sometimes it'll appear like this health bar appears for no reason, telling me how much health she has, but it's wrong. She doesn't really have 25 out of whatever health. That never changes. It's always 25. So it's a
Mm.
visual bug that's just annoying. And there's also stations that have like crafting stations. Whenever you put crafting stations down, you can also put augmentation structures down near them to buff them. Kind of like in Valheim, where you're putting, like, they don't do anything, but you're putting down things, structures, anvils, knives, whatever, to buff its corresponding workstation. And when you do that, like if you put a knife near a cooking station, you'll get a cooking buff of some kind for all the food that you make. Well, there's supposed to be little check marks on the stations telling you yes, there's three different buffs affecting the station. And
Mm.
sometimes those check marks won't be there, but if I pick up the item and drop it again or replace it, those check marks will reappear suddenly automatically. So there's some like visual bugs that are going on. There's also a chest visual bug where if Pony opens up or idly opens up a chest, it'll stay open on my end. It won't close. It'll
Mm.
open, but it won't close. So it's an OCD thing. I have to go over and interact with it so it closes.
I see. I thought that was just a feature, and I thought it was a cool little thing.
No,
Honestly,
it's a visual bug.
I was like, oh, okay. We recently looked into that chest, and that's why it stays open. Okay, that's cool.
in
Like,
in
I don't mind that.
in offline play, it always automatically shuts.
Oh, I
So it
see.
shouldn't be doing that in online, I would imagine.
Okay.
And also, there's server maintenance. That's another thing to contend with. We were trying to play this game yesterday and cover it, but we got server maintenance and we had to wait.
Yeah.
Also, there are some instances where loot is shared and other instances where it's not. It seems like the major reward chests are not shared in that we each have our own loot out of them. But there are like points of interest in the environment. There's chests scattered around. Those chests seem to be like if someone loots it, it's gone. So
Hmm.
it's difficult. I wish the environment would tell me more if something is shared or not, just so I know. Okay, it's safe to loot this, or maybe I should wait until she gets here, kind of thing. That would have been
Yeah.
nice.
I wish there was some sort of track on the map somewhere that would tell me if I had looted this place or not. Because even though he has, it shows up as if I did, but I have never even been there in
Hmm.
that area. So everything that I could loot there, it just doesn't show up on my map, which
Yeah,
stinks. Because when I visit it, I'm like, oh, okay, well, here's some essence that I don't remember unlocking, but now I can have it.
yeah. If the point of
So,
interest is completed, it'll show up as completed for both of us, even if she didn't get the reward for
hmm.
completing it. If that makes any
Yeah.
sense. So yeah, there's some things in online play, quality of life things I think that could be added to it. Also, this is just a general feedback. Whenever you're cooking something or making something and you have to turn fire on that station on, whenever the items are done being made or cooking or whatever, the fire does not automatically turn off. So there are instances where the fire's left on and all of our wood is like just gone. I
Hmm.
wish there was an option to like auto turn off fire when done crafting kind of thing. That's just a general thing that just irks me because every time I turn around, there's fire on and nothing's being made. It's just super
Yeah.
annoying.
I think that's probably like a game feature that adopts it with other games that do that. I
Mm-hmm.
do wish there was a toggle, like an option for people who really don't enjoy that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The graphics are amazing. Like you said, the scenery is beautiful. It's funny because when I first started the game, I said, "Oh, these graphics are okay. Like they're not that great." And I had mine on quality graphics, like on it was on the second highest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I wanted to see, okay, well, what does it look like on its highest? I put it on its highest, and it looked fine. It looked great. I was like, okay, it's like whatever. And then I started lagging really bad, and then the next time I logged in, it looked awful. And like you said, I updated my graphics card, and when I did, it looked great. And I was like, wow, this is wonderful. I can finally play on the highest graphics. But then it started lagging, so I lowered it.
Mm-hmm.
Then it started lagging again, and I lowered it to balanced. Balanced looks the best. I cannot believe how great the game actually looks on balanced. How in the world does this game, as beautiful as it is, look so nice on balanced, whereas in the highest graphics, it's like so dark, you can barely see anything, and it's just like everything looks kind of like eh, you know? That doesn't make sense to me. And
Mm-hmm.
it runs like not bad, but on balance it's like chef's kiss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So before we get going, what other things do you want to mention?
I love the sound. The sound in this game they did it on point. The
Mm-hmm.
footstep sounds are great. The combat feedback, like you said, it feels good, like when you hit something, but at the same time it's just kind of like,
Mm-hmm.
kind of janky a little too. But the map beacons are too big. I wish they were a little smaller because
Mm-hmm.
it just covers the point of interest. What else? What else? The clothing is great. I wish there were more clothing options. What else? What else?
Hurry up, hurry up. No, I'm kidding.
Sorry, no. Um, yeah, and I'm really enjoying the game so far. There's so much to uncover. The card mechanic takes some getting used to. It's a learning curve. I'm still learning about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, it's really interesting so far. So far, it's not like where I have to pull my hair out to grab the ingredients that I need to craft things, which is
Mm-hmm.
nice. Um, but yeah, it gives it that little challenge and
Mm-hmm.
it's a pretty fun little survival game.
It's very craft heavy though. There's a lot of
Hmm.
crafting material. You'll need this little material for this. I mean, like when you're crafting the better items, you'll need like four different ingredients to unlock it from four different stations. So just be warned, this game does get craft heavy. There's a lot of loot. There's a lot of loot that may not make sense to you now, but you will have a use for it later. So you'll have a lot of chests. So if you enjoy collecting loot and storing it for crafting purposes, then you'll like the crafting aspect of this game.
Hmm.
So, but other than that, like I'm still enjoying it. This is my second playthrough up to this point of the third realm that we're currently on, and we look forward to exploring it more. Yeah, aside from the minor quality of life stuff, I'd say grab it on sale while it's 40% off. That's going to last until I think September 25th or something like that. Go check it out on Steam. 40% off is a huge deal considering the game is like 40 bucks inherently. Well,
Um,
this. Mhm.
there- I'm sorry, real quick. There's also a third person toggle mode. It's experimental, but so far I've had no issues with it, and I'm having a blast playing in third player or third person mode.
Okay.
So
I
yeah, it's
heard.
pretty good.
Awesome. Well, this is Vincent Natalie. Thanks for watching. We'll catch y'all next time. Take care.
Bye, guys.